Welcome to our strategy presentation titled Have a Genius Execute Your Trading Plan. My name is Todd Shaffer, Manager of Research for VectorVest, and I'll be providing your strategy presentation this evening. As you know, we at VectorVest advocate using a systematic approach to your investing. This means using the tools of the VectorVest service to develop rules-based trading plans that tell you when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell. We can analyze their performance over historical periods and tweak them to optimize their performance. We can paper trade them in the current market to build our confidence, and now with our new portfolio Genius, we can execute our plan with precision in just minutes a day. The Genius will tell us exactly what to do and when to do it. For more on trading plans, my colleague Brian D'Amico recently presented a strategy presentation titled Develop a Winning Trading Plan. He did an excellent job identifying the why and how of trading plan development using the VectorVest tools, and I highly recommend you review if you need more background information. Another great example of a trading plan being developed was presented by our Manager of Retirement Services, Mr. Dan Mish, in his presentation titled Retirement 2013, Searching for the Best of the Best. And tonight we'll take Dan's research and demonstrate how we could have taken that research forward with our new Genius tool. But first, let's begin with a tour of the new Genius. The Genius incorporates our market timing signals into our portfolio automation. So we'll click on the Portfolios tab, and we'll click a new portfolio. And we'll name this Demo. And you can see we have a new look to the Portfolio Manager interface. Here you see the addition of the Genius plus AutoTimer tool. And just as a reminder, changing trading rules based on VectorVest market timing signals does require the AutoTimer plugin. It's the addition of those timing signals that fully automates this process. But with it, we can now fully automate any settings created in our back tests. No more missing timing signals. You can hold both long and short positions at the same time, and the Genius will indicate any trades you need to make on a daily basis. In fact, that's the only remaining piece. You must still place your orders with your brokerage and update the Genius with your filled pricing. At the top of the screen, we have our portfolio summary window, which includes the portfolio data with our gain and loss information. Next, in the portfolio tools, we can still add trades manually if we like. In the same fashion, if I simply typed in a symbol and a trade date and how many shares, and enter all the trade data, apply, and click OK, and add that trade to my portfolio. Of course, if you ever need to edit any of the data that you entered on a trade, you simply go to the Reports button, view the transaction log, identify the trade you need to adjust, and then click the Edit button. And you could say change your filled price to reflect the price you actually were filled. In the manual mode, of course, you can also populate a portfolio by buying from search. And here, as we did before, you simply specify the search, buying power, how many positions, etc. Run the search, and those results will populate the portfolio. And so all of that manual functionality remains unchanged. However, with the addition of our Genius system now, if we click on the Settings button, it leads us where we need to go. We now have some choices that we can make. Starting at the top, remember we're now changing the demo portfolio, and I have a choice of alerts. If I click on the alert settings, this is setting the alerts particularly for portfolios. If I click on the current alert, I can edit. I can send an email alert or a text message alert. And I click OK. I can also show the portfolio alerts in VectorVest 7 with a little pop-up window, or I can also have them stored on the status bar. And I can also assign sounds to those alerts. So now I can be alerted to any indicated trading activity. Next, the Genius wants us to identify what trading system we're going to use. So we'll click on the green button that says Build Your Trading System here. This tool should look very familiar. It is exactly the same as we would find in the back tester. We can specify our market timing signal. And then for each of the conditions identified by that signal, then we need to give it the automation rules. First, when I get the confirmed up call, I'm going to specify to buy long, and I have the choice to open positions using a search or to not if I manually want to go and cherry pick my replacement searches. So that's the case in this example, but the stop criteria I want to use for those positions we'll say is a trailing 10% stop. And of course I have the option of using either the intraday high and low or the closing data. If on the other hand I did want a search to go and find my replacement positions, on the search tab I could simply specify the search I want to use, perhaps in this instance top VST stocks in the prudent folder. Using that 10% trailing stop on the more settings tab, again, just like the backtester, I can set how many positions I want, what to do on the turn action, how to size the positions, and any limitations on their purchase. After I've filled out that information, I click Next. I go to the rules for the confirmed down call. Let's just go to cash on the confirmed down call, and I click Finish. And so now the wizard is showing me that I'm using confirmed calls. Here are my rules for that up condition, my rules for the down condition, and currently we're in a confirmed down condition. If I'd like to make any changes, I simply edit the trading system by clicking the button and make any changes that I require. Next, we specify what we want the Genius to do when a position meets its stop criteria. We can close the position and send the alert, or just send an alert. And on the next section, since we are dealing with end-of-day data, the Genius wants to know, would you like to use the next day's open or the next day's average for your filled pricing? That price, of course, can stand if you're paper trading, but if this is a real trading account, you'll want to come in and adjust that price with your actual filled price once you've placed the trade. And then finally, you can turn the Genius on or off. We come to the bottom and we click Save. Coming back to our main screen, we see currently we have the Qantas Airlines stock in our portfolio. The Genius is turned on. And if I come to the right and click the double arrow down, we'll have a pending activity box. And we'll see because I had automated my portfolio to go to cash in the confirmed down call, because of that change in status, we're now going to sell our long position of Qantas. But this is where you would come on a daily basis and just look for pending trading activity. This is where the Genius will communicate to you what you need to purchase or sell based on your trading plan. And so managing your portfolio is as easy as coming into the Genius on a nightly basis, check for pending activity, place those orders with your brokerage, and move on. It's never been easier to execute your trading plan with precision in just minutes a day. And after all, that's what the VectorVest tools are for, to allow us to more easily and more effectively manage our portfolio. With that in mind, there's one more functionality that I want to show you of the Genius that's purely genius. Let's move to the backtester. Here in the backtester are some of the research runs that Dan performed for his strategy presentation titled Retirement 2013. At the top of the list was his best performing backtest and the one he presented in his strategy presentation. So let's pretend that this was our research and that we had identified a trading plan that we liked and we wanted to move ahead from this basic research. Well, the first thing I might do is bring the research current. So maybe I'll strike a copy. We'll leave all the trading rules the same. We'll just extend the test period through the current date. And I'll click Finish and Run. And so now we have the same strategy, the same search name, it just adds a copy suffix to it. We're extended now through our current date, 23rd of January. And here we see we're continuing to perform well. We did establish a higher high. With the confirmed call, we've had a little bit of pullback, but that's part of the ebb and flow. We're still returning just under 20% on an annualized basis with very low commissions. So we like our results, and now we'd like to move forward with this and start to deploy it as a portfolio. Notice we have a nice new little button at the top called Convert. And if I click on the Convert button, it'll convert automatically the created backtest into a portfolio. And so it creates a name, and I can modify that. Perhaps I don't need to know all the research. I'll just call it Dividend Elite 1. And I have the choice to start with an empty portfolio, or I can continue right where I left off with all the current positions. In this case, I have a confirmed down call. I'm going to start with an empty portfolio in anticipation of the next confirmed up call, so that when I get this signal, then the portfolio genius will tell me when I should buy and what I should buy. And we're going to start the portfolio with the genius turned on. So I'll click OK. And we'll click Open Portfolio now so we can jump right to it. And you can see we've created the Dividend Elite 1 portfolio. If I minimize that toolbar, we can see that currently there are no positions because the genius is on, but we're in a confirmed down call, so we're not doing any activity. If we want to review our settings, we click the Settings button. We can see that when we have the confirmed up call, then we'll buy stocks using the Dividend Elite search, and we can review the trading system rules. We'll cancel out of that. Going back to the backtester, had I chosen instead to convert this to a portfolio from the end of the backtest, I'll leave it with this name to differentiate. We'll click OK. And now you can see we have the established equity curve, the current positions that are in the portfolio. Again, we're just picking up from where we left off, and there's no activity indicated from the genius. And so now we have a fully developed suite of tools to take us from a quick test to a portfolio trading plan. In fact, it's so easy now you could monitor multiple portfolios at the same time. And there you have it, the new Genius tool from VectorVest, where we continue to innovate to provide the best service possible to our subscribers. Thank you for viewing this evening, and I invite you to come back and watch our other VectorVest University presentations.